These past couple chapters of Boruto, I've been coming down on Inojin for not being a proper shinobi. But guys, with the latest chapter of Boruto, I might have to take all that slander, I might have to take it back, because Inojin is finally stepping up and proving himself for once in Boruto, okay? I am glad to say that Inojin is finally taking some big boy steps and making progress, because he was integral to this chapter. And guys, what a chapter it was. We are finally here at the conclusion of the Mamushi invasion, and it did not disappoint, guys. And there's a crazy cliffhanger at the end too, if you guys caught it. I am absolutely flabbergasted. Every single month I pray that Boruto decides to become at least a 2-week manga, because it is pain waiting for this peak every month. But here we are, guys. Our wait is finally over, and today we are talking Boruto Two Blue Vortex Chapter 33. Guys, this chapter wastes absolutely no time getting into the nitty and the gritty. Picking up on last week's chapter where we left off, Sarada's down, Kawaki's down, and we have 1,000 Mamushi clones invading, okay? All hope is looking lost. Fortunately for us, Boruto gets to Sarada, and while she's not grievously injured, it's nothing life-threatening, she's still down for the count. Kawaki, he's still in the mix. Unfortunately, or fortunately, he just ran out of gas, so he's still kind of good to go. And we still get to see the dichotomy with Himawari and Kawaki, and it's still so incredible that Himawari hasn't picked up on the fact that this is not her older brother. Like, Kawaki is such a dick to Himawari that I'm like, how does this girl even think that this is the same brother who punched her father for not being there at her birthday? Like, there's no way that you can think that this is the same person, you know? But Kawaki brushes Himawari off, and he's like, go check up on Sarada, right? And Himawari rushes over to Sarada, and if you guys remember, Himawari is currently the new Jinchuriki for Kurama, so she's got some crazy healing powers. And Jinchuriki isn't even the right word, guys. She's like a perfect fusion of like tailed beast and like human. Like, it's like some new hybrid we ain't never seen before. But she's actually the one to drop down and to heal Sarada, and she says that even though Sarada's blood vessel is healed, the one that she popped, she doesn't know what's gonna happen with her vision. So Sarada's vision is completely up in the air right now. For all we know, she could wake up and be the 3/4 blind, you know? We have absolutely no idea, which is still crazy to me, you know? It's only been like 3-4 times since she used her Mangekyo and she's going blind. I don't know, maybe her Mangekyo is just that strong. But regardless, these guys get back to the battle and it's looking daunting, okay? 1,000 clones, and they're still multiplying, right? Damon. This is when Damon steps up. Well, to be fair, Damon's been stepping up. If you guys remember last chapter, Damon was absolutely snapping on a warpath. And guys, he does not stop this chapter either. Man standing in front of like 500 clones, and he's just screaming, "Come at me! This is war!" Like, bro, y'all gotta give it to Damon. He don't play about his little sister or his big sister at all, okay? This guy don't play. He's like, I'm sick of waiting. Let's do this. And all the Mamushi rush, right? And this is where we cut to Inojin and Kashin Koji. And Kashin Koji, he's just doing his thing as usual. He's just watching, he's scheming, he's plotting. And Inojin is actually the one that's freaking out. And he's like, what's going on? I like, at this rate, like, we're not going to be able to beat the Mamushi. Like, haven't you seen anything in your future? You haven't gotten any updates? And Kashin Koji's like, 4 days ago was the last time that I got an update. It was the last time I saw something. And I haven't seen anything new since then. And Inojin is like, what update? And this is where Kashin Koji gives the whole spiel to Inojin. But what I'm wondering is that with Kashin Koji explaining all this to Inojin, is Inojin now gonna become a singularity like Kashin Koji and Boruto and Ada? Like, the list is just gonna keep growing of singularities, right? Because Ada's already knowing, Boruto knows, and now it seems like Kashin Koji is super involving Inojin into the mix, you know? Which is great and all, but I wonder if Inojin is gonna stay in the mix after this, you know? Like, is he only being brought into the mix just for this Mamushi problem that we're having, and then after that he's gonna be discarded? Or is he gonna still be, I guess, you know what, I guess he's still gonna have to kind of be in the mix because they need him for the mind transmission jutsu. They need him to connect all the people without Konoha being able to get the record. So I guess he's for now Inojin is a permanent member of Team Boruto. Okay, yeah, he's still got some proving himself to go along the way, you know. But Kashin Koji, he basically explains his ability to Inojin, right? And he says, my ability to view the future, it happens spontaneously. Like, we know this. Kashin Koji can't even control it. But I'm unable to see the future whenever I wish, right? That's how the ability works. And as Inojin's hearing this, he's starting to sweat because he's coming to the realization that Kashin Koji doesn't even know what's going to happen, right? And again, Kashin Koji only gets like glimpses of the future. It's not like he gets like a vision of the future that's completely set in stone, right? Like, he gets little flashes of things that could potentially happen, right? Not things that are going to happen 1000% set in stone. Like, you know, like, he doesn't get like a vision of like, okay, put it this way. If I'm Kashin Koji and I get like a vision right now, you know, it could be like a vision of me having pancakes tomorrow morning, or eggs tomorrow morning, or bacon tomorrow morning, you know, or all three, you know, and I could see all 4 of those versions for tomorrow morning, and then tomorrow morning I have eggs. You know what I mean? Like, I'm seeing possibilities that could happen, and maybe one of those is true, maybe one of them is not true. You know what I mean? So his ability, it's kind of shaky. But what's really interesting too is that we see that Amado is listening in. And Amado, when he hears Kashin Koji's breakdown, he's like, you know, 10 pass is able to see into the future. And he ends it there. But obviously we can come to the conclusion that Amado 1000% knows 10 pass is Shibai's ability, right? Like, he knows Kashin Koji's still alive. Like, yo, Amado is, I don't trust this guy at all. And nobody should trust Amado, okay? This guy is too slimy. He's too weird. He's too mysterious, man. I don't like these little monologues he be having where he just ends and stops talking. Like, brother, say what you gotta say. Say it with your chest, big dog. I'm interested. I'd love to hear what you got to say, actually, Amado. You little sneaky, slimy little... Oh, my God, bro. You know who this guy reminds me of? Amado reminds me of Littlefinger, man. And yo, if any of y'all have watched Game of Thrones, y'all know Littlefinger is just a slimy, manipulative... Like, bruv, you don't trust the guy, okay? When he's talking, you just... Yeah, and you... Let it go out the other ear, because they just be yapping. Bro, this guy, yo, watch out for Amado. I wouldn't be surprised if in the end game, Amado is like there with some like jackpot surprise like twist, you know, because this guy is just too he is too misty. I don't like him. But Inojin's like, so you're completely in the dark, like you don't know what's gonna happen next. And I'm like, yeah, brother, you know. And Kashin Koji's like, yeah, you know, like I told you, like to see the future is to break the future. And this is where we cut back to Damon. And Damon is going crazy, guys. Like he's going back and forth with these Mamushi. And actually everybody is going crazy. Like we see Mitsuki, he's got his Sage mode on. And there's a moment where all the Mamushi, they just swarm Ada. Like they actually get to her, you know? Like they're about to get her. They don't consume her, but they're really about to, you know? And she's like, they reek, you know? And this is when Boruto just pops in and he just starts slicing and dicing. He's cutting them up, right? And Ada's literally just in the middle of like a mountain of dead Mamushi all around her, you know? And Shukadai is like, he's multiplying so fast. Like, the guy is multiplying faster than we can take him out. Like, how's this gonna work? Like, what are we about to do? And this is when we see Damon. He hops up on a Mamushi and just takes a whole bunch of them out with his reflectability. Damon is busted, and especially for the Mamushi, with how much they're multiplying. This is actually, Damon is literally the one that you want to have. Perfect. His area of effect attacks, bruv, this guy this chapter, he's taking out like hundreds of these guys by himself, bro. By himself. Just with his reflectability. It's crazy. Like, you gotta give it to Damon, you know? But with that being said, even Damon, with the amount of Mamushi that there is, he's starting to get pushed to his edge, right? And with all of this, guys, I still don't believe that we've seen Damon get like pushed to the edge, you know? Like right now it's just a matter of like volume, but it's not like the Mamushi are particularly strong, you know what I mean? So it's just, there's a lot to deal with, but I don't think Damon is like going like all out right now, you know what I mean? Like he's going hard, but I don't think he's going like as hard as we could see him going, you know? And he's starting to get tired, you know? He even says, like, they're running me ragged. Mitsuki's going off, right? You see Mitsuki, Boruto, Delta, they're like teamed up. They're backed up into a corner, and Boruto's like, yo, like, Lord 8, like, what are we about to do here? Everybody's down. Not down, but they can't control just the sheer volume that's coming at them, right? Sarada's down for the count, okay? Kawaki, he's out of juice. Damon, his battery's running out. Boruto, this guy's been fighting, okay? His battery's probably running out, okay? Konohamaru, he wasn't much use anyway to begin with, right? And you got like Himawari, and then Team 10, Team 10, right? Well, again, like, all the big dogs, all the big players, they're pretty much down, right? So this is where we switch back over to Kashin Koji and Inojin, right? And Inojin, he's still freaking out, right? And this is where Kashin Koji is basically telling him that like the new jutsu that you made up is gonna play a part, right? And he's like, don't you feel as though Mamushi was weak? You know, he's like, thankfully Himawari and Ada, they're unharmed. And he's like, I attribute these results to you learning that mind transmission jutsu, right? But Inojin, like, he's not having it. Remember, Inojin super has the feels for Himawari. So the fact that she's in heavy danger right now and she might not survive, this guy can't take it. You know, like, this is a complaint I have for Inojin. You know, he could be a bod boy, he could be sick like his dad, Sai, you know, but the only times that this guy wants to be sick is when Himawari's involved. You know what I mean? Like, even now, this guy's so scared of Himawari getting in danger or something bad happening to her, that he just locks in. It's crazy. The power of love. It'll do crazy things to ya. I'm telling you guys. This is the classic anime waifu power up, bruv. You know what I mean? Guys, yo, Inojin's like, yo, that new jutsu in this situation, mind transformation, and then boom, it clicks in his head, right? And this is where we switch to Amado. And basically we just get a rehash of that explanation that we got last chapter, where we find out that there's a single consciousness, like a single collective consciousness governing each and every one of the Mamushi. So while they each have their own individual consciousness, there's still a governing consciousness that is connected to all of them, right? And this is where Inojin, he makes that connection, right? And Kashin Koji says, much has changed about the future, but the strength of 10 paths comes from the information gleaned from it, which is true, right? Like, he's been able to teach Boruto so much new jutsu. He's been able to teach Inojin new jutsu, and this is just from the little glimpses that he's getting into the future. You don't even need to see the whole future to make a difference, right? Like, honestly, all you need to know is just that little bit, because once you know that little bit, you can make adjustments from that, right? And Kashin Koji says, although the circumstances leading up to this point are different, a scene similar to the current one has already been glimpsed in another future. Now that has intelligence has reduced its absolute limit, there are other measures we can take. That being said, it seems as though there may be no need to relay these measures to you, right? And again, Inojin locked in. Kashin Koji's like, judging by that look on your face, my assessment is correct. And Inojin's like, okay, I steeled my resolve. I'm ready to go. And I'm like, finally, bro. What's been taking this guy so long? The guy's been sitting here with Kashin Koji, okay, crying, okay, stressing. Brother, you could have been on the battlefield trying to do something. You've only just steeled your resolve now. You've only just found it now. Bro, I'm going to give Inojin his props because, you know, he does some good work this chapter. But my brother, you need to focus up. Because if you're just stealing your resolve now, my guy, you're not about to make it for the battles that are to come. Like, what is this guy talking about? I just found my resolve. But stealing his resolve, Inojin finally gets sent to the battlefield, right? Kashin Koji reverse summons him, and boom, he pops up on the battlefield, right? Runs right past Himawari, runs past everybody, shouts to Shikadai, stop one. I just need one, right? Boom. He hits him with the shadow paralysis jutsu, and this is where Inojin comes in and hits him with the mind transfer jutsu, right? And he jumps into a Mamushi, right? And this is when all the Mamushi, they stop, right? Because prior to this, there was a group of Mamushi chasing Ada, right? And now, boom, they're all just stopped, frozen, right? Inojin, he came in clutch. Everybody's like, yo, what's going on, right? And Shikadai and Amado, they're the ones to figure it out, right? Amado says what Inojin took over is not just one clone. He took over the entire herd, right? So he took over the entire collective consciousness of all the Mamushi, right? And they're all under his control. And the way that Inojin takes all these guys out is pretty smart, I will say. Because if you guys remember, before all this happened, just when we were in the planning stages of this attack, Shikamaru or Kashin Koji, they said that to keep the Mamushi from multiplying, you have to destroy their eyes first, right? The Rinnegan in their eye, and then you can destroy them. So the way that Inojin does this is pretty smart because he's got control of one Mamushi. He looks up at Damon, right? And he screams, Damon, I'm gonna crush both your eyes. And this is when, boom, every single Mamushi's eyes, it's boom, you know, they're done. And Inojin falls to the ground too, and his eyes actually look mushed up. But I'm a little confused on what happens next, guys, because once all their eyes pop out, they all die, you know? And I'm like, what's going on here? You know? Like, I don't get that part. Cause they just took out, they like all his eyes just went. Like, he should be able to still fight though, or am I tweaking? I don't know. Y'all let me know down in the comments below. What do y'all think? You know, because he hits him with the reflectability, and then you just see like the group of them, all their eyes are being popped out, and then the next panel, they're all just dropping to the ground. You know, everybody's so confused too. Team 10's like, yo, what the heck is happening? Kawaki's watching, and he's like, yo, what's going on? And that's pretty much it. You know, all the Mamushi, they disappear, and the soul thorn from Mamushi is all that's left. And Boruto actually goes to collect the soul thorn, and Kawaki asks him like, what are you gonna do with the soul thorn? And Boruto says that he's gonna actually bring it back to Bug, right? He's like, he might end up rotting away, you know, because he's not a shinobi. And this is where we get this weird cliffhanger, guys, because we see Bug's tree, right? And on Bug's tree, there's a claw mark and an eye, right? And the very last thing that we see is Boruto plans to revert Bug back from his tree form, but whose mysterious eye lies in wait? And it looks like Code. You know, that's the only thing that I can think of right now, is that maybe Code is like hiding out here in the tree. Maybe Boruto's gonna come back and try to put the soul thorn back into Mamushi, and like Code's gonna take it and get like a power up or something. In fact, where is Code anyways, guys? Where is this guy? What's going on? Y'all think Code is gonna be important for Endgame maybe, and that's why like we haven't seen him? The guy's just running around doing God knows what. Last time we seen him, he got that mission from Jura. You know, Jura bitched him and basically told him like, go on my little fetch quest for me. So I don't know. As cliffhangers go, this one is kind of ominous. You know, like this one is ominous. I don't know where we're gonna go from here. Honestly, does Bug really need his soul thorn back? Who cares about Bug, bro? Let that man rot. Let that man rot, bro. Who cares about Bug? He wasn't on your side before. You ain't got no reason to save him. Destroy the soul thorn and that's it. You can't come back as Mamushi. You don't need Bug anyway. Let the guy go. Let the guy go. As chapters go, guys, this one was pretty fire. Like, I can't lie. It's been a couple chapters, and now Mamushi is finished. Mamushi's done. Maybe who do we have left? Hidari, Jura. Is that it, guys? Is that the only two that's left? Ryu's gone. What's her face is gone. Moegi. Damn, are we actually only down to two Shinju left, guys? Holy shit. Story could be wrapping up soon. God damn. Drop it down in the comments below, guys. What did you think about this chapter? Now that I'm really thinking about it, I'm like, damn, we might be nearing the end game soon, guys. Hidari, Jura, and I think I feel like I'm missing somebody, but I can't put my finger on it, but I don't think so. I don't think so, guys. Crazy work. We're about to end the series. Seriously. Damn. Let me know what you guys are thinking below, though. Y'all think Code's about to make some crazy comeback with that power-up? Yo, if Code is the one who gets that soul thorn and comes back again, this is going to be like his third time spinning back. But another month. Start your timers. Set your calendars. Boruto for the win.